Echoes of the Wild is a short film live action that follows a young boy named Jamie who has a lot going on in his personal life. These materialize as echoes, sort of these dark auras that follow him and chase him with his worst outlooks on life.
Seeing all the behind the scenes, on screen, when you watch movies, you only see really what they show you, but then there's all the stuff behind the scenes that's going on, and it's so interesting, and I thought that was just so cool to see.
One of the major challenges for this film, having so much visual effects, was that we had to plan every shot meticulously, all the way down to the aperture, the camera angle, the movement, and the focal length. Had to have it all sorted out and blocked out and scheduled in order.
You're working with a team, you saw sort of all the parts come together, and when we were doing test shoots, there'd be an idea that would come up, and it would be, what if we did this? And suddenly seeing just like the enthusiasm to like really hop on that idea and make it happen, and it really enhanced the overall story that we had, but also just that absolute buzz that we had whenever that happened was really unique, really special in that sense.
On set, seeing a shot come up and knowing what we had to do to make it happen and having people there to make it happen was really cool. There was like moments where we needed a blue screen and we had our runners and we called them our blue screen team, and they would run out with these big panels of blue screen, run in behind our actor and then place them down, and then we needed our clean paint right after, so it's like blue screen team, go, get out, and then they would get out. Pretty fun, all that.
What we did on live set is that we gave our stand-in actor Angus a pretty cheeky apparatus that involved 3 golf balls, kind of to determine the height and the head position of the Mossman itself.
It was really interesting from the physical perspective, also using crutches to kind of symbolize the long arms. That was a little bit challenging to figure out how that was affected by my shoulder movement.
It was a bit surprising, like having to look like really high to see the ping pong balls, but it ended up being really big, and I had to look up really high.
The young actor who was playing Jamie, I could see his timing, and Angus, I could see Angus's timing, so I understand what needs to happen in the 10 to 12 seconds of that shot. And I also get to understand where have you come from, where have you going.
Having to judge the workflow based on using live action plates, like real life, and having to position that properly, and obviously making the movement fit that kind of new environment to judge based on shadows, positioning, making sure that things are not interfering with the actors or everything else in the footage.
If having real-time feedback is helpful, because it gives me a sense of the scale, but also the proportions of not only are his arms long, but I know I can understand how bulky they are in comparison to his torso. So I get a sense of how I have to move. And when we're trying to find walk cycles, having the model makes it easy for us to discover where the weight shifts happen to make that model really come alive, which we found in terms of, when the weight lands, like it shudders through the body, and seeing what parts of the body move when that weight moves.
One decision that I was proud of in this was the decision to move it to a bipedal character. When it was in the modelling process, it meant that I could add a lot more characteristics to it, meaning that we could go a bit more personality and a bit more of an overall guidance figure for Jamie.
Our team have been closely collaborated with each other. Like, we find a reference footage, like we often share our thoughts on developing details on the Mossman to make him look more organic, more detailed, that's blending with the live action footage.
I think this film challenged every aspect of compositing. There was keying, rotoscoping, tracking, and even the use of photogrammetry has helped us in many cases, and there was a lot of new stuff that I'd learnt. Using the photogrammetry helped us immensely. I was really surprised to see how much it influenced everyone's work areas.
We put some elements in and then, is that working, is it not? Maybe we have to change the edit to fix that, or what does that mean in the story? So it was kind of trying to retell the story as we were working on the visual effects elements and how what implications that had into the story. I'm excited to integrate the audio from the whispers into the simulation of the echoes to drive the simulation and the look development.
You have the sound of the echoes themselves, and within that there's like airy sounds, there's whispers, there's all sorts of things going on. But then I really want to explore how I can make it sound like they're coming from behind you. Like, what are they going to be like when they're disappearing?
I've definitely learned a lot from team working and in the technical side. Yeah, the most rewarding part to see all the pieces come together at last.